Miss Jackson is going to talk you through English in the early years. Enjoy!
Hello and welcome to our information session on English in the early years. The aim of this video is to explain what reading and writing looks like in reception at French. Phonics is a strategy for teaching reading and writing. It is done by demonstrating the relationship between the sounds of the spoken language and the letters of the written language. We understand that the teaching of phonics can be extremely daunting for parents, but we want to reassure you that staff at French are always willing to support you, and throughout the year you will receive further handouts, you'll be invited in for workshops and stay in share sessions where you can see how we teach phonics at school. Phonics is extremely beneficial for children and it helps them to hear, identify and use different sounds that distinguish one word from another. Here at French, we teach phonics using the Letters and Sounds programme. We do dip into different programmes if we feel it will benefit the children. We often enjoy using the Jolly Phonics rhymes to support with the sounds in Phase 2. The Letters and Sounds programme breaks the phonics teaching up into 6 phases. During reception, we focus on Phase 1, Phase 2 and Phase 3, and we're now going to look at each phase in a little bit more detail. Phase 1 is fundamental. The aim of Phase 1 is to develop the children's speaking and listening skills. It is so important that the children can hear the sounds all around them and distinguish between them. Therefore, we explore lots of activities focusing on environmental sounds, instrumental sounds and body sounds. If your child cannot hear and respond to sounds around them, they are not going to be able to hear the sounds in words and therefore continue to make progress with their phonics. In September, your child will take part in lots of listening activities as well as a programme called Teaching Children to Listen. In previous years, the children have made super progress with this programme. Here on the screen are a few activities that you could complete over the summer. Here are more activities focusing on Phase 1. These are all online activities that we use at school, and you are welcome to use them over the summer to practice Phase 1. Once the children are confident in hearing sounds, we move on to Phase 2. In Phase 2, the children will learn 19 letters of the alphabet and 1 sound for each. The children are taught to blend the sounds in words in order to read them. For example, b, e, d, bed. When spelling a word, children are taught to segment the word to hear its sounds, then represent these in their writing. So if your child wanted to write the word bed, they would have to listen to each sound, segment the word to help them write it. For both of these skills, we refer to using our robot voice and our robot arms. You will soon become very familiar with this in September, and you yourselves will be robot talking all of your words. We also use sound buttons to help children to visualise the number of sounds in a word. The children are also taught to read and recognise tricky words. We all know the English language is not easy, and there are some words that we cannot use our phonics for. These are called tricky words. For example, the word the. You can't sound out the, we just have to learn it. We are now going to look at the sounds in Phase 2. It is very important to pronounce the phonemes, which are the sounds, very clearly and not to add to any of the sounds. I'm now going to say the name of each letter and the sound it makes. It is important that the children start to learn the name and the sound. My name is S and my sound is S. My name is A and my sound is A. My name is T and my sound is T. My name is P and my sound is P. My name is I and my sound is I. My name is N and my sound is N. My name is M and my sound is M. My name is D and my sound is D. My name is G and my sound is G. My name is O and my sound is O. My name is C and my sound is K. My name is K and my sound is K. Now you can see the C and the K together. That's known as a digraph, and a digraph is two letters together that make one sound. When the C and the K are together, it makes the sound K. My name is E and my sound is E. My name is U and my sound is My name is R and my sound is R. My name is H and my sound is H. My name is B and my sound is B. My name is F and my sound is F. Then there's another digraph when two F's together make the sound F. My name is L and my sound is L. Then there's another digraph where two L's together make the sound L, like ball. And then the final one is S. Two S's together, for example, in the word mess or kiss, when the two letters together make one sound. Now I'm going to blend these words together to read them. I'm going to robot talk the word and then clap it together to show that I have blended the word together to read. Cat, cat. Pig, pig. Hen. Rat. And that clapping together at the end is the blending to read. We then segment to spell. So your child might think of the word mat and then they need to break up the word mat. They need to segment each sound and listen to each sound to help them spell the word. For example, at. For sun, sun. Dog, they would need to segment each sound, d, o, g. And finally, tap, t, a, p. Now we're going to have a look at adding sound buttons onto words to help us to spell the words. The children find it really useful to use the sound buttons. The dot represents one letter for each sound, and the line represents two letters that make one sound. So you can see by using these sound buttons that the children can clearly see there are three sounds in the word hat. H, a, t, hat. The children can see from looking at the word duck that the C and the K is a digraph. A digraph is two letters that make one sound. So when the C and the K are together in the word duck, they make one sound k. D, k, duck. Okay, now it's your turn. Feel free to pause the video while you have a go at adding the sound buttons to these words. Use the Phase 2 sound mat that's on a previous page to help you. Now you can check your answers. These are the sound buttons for each word. B, g, bug. Lock. Kiss. Okay, there is lots of home learning that you could start over the summer to give your child a head start. Geraldine the Giraffe is a fantastic online resource that you can use. If you visit YouTube and search Geraldine Learns and then the sound that you want to have a look at, you can then watch a little video all about that sound. Geraldine hunts around for lots of items that start with that sound. You can then do that yourself around your house. Here are some more activities that you could do at home to support your child with listening to sounds in words. You could play I Spy. You could look at different objects that all start with the same sound, so your child is becoming familiar with the initial sounds in words. You could look at objects around the house. What sound does sock start with? Emphasising the s at the beginning so the children can hear it very clearly. What sound does pan start with? Listening carefully to that p sound at the beginning. Now we're going to have a little look at phase 3. Please don't worry too much about phase 3 at this stage. It's extremely important that the children are confident with phase 1 and then phase 2 before we move on to phase 3. I will just go through all of the sounds with you so you are aware of them. J, v, u, x, y, z, z, qu, ch, sh, f, and th, a, e, I, O, oo and ah, or, ow, oi, ear, your, Now, as you can see on our phase 3 sound map, there are some digraphs and trigraphs. A digraph is 2 letters together that make one sound. For example, sh for shark. We need to make it very clear to the children that that's the S and the H together that make the sound sh. It is not the s and the h together. We must always say the letter names that make that sound. So the S and the H, and together they make the sound sh. During phase 3, we also cover some trigraphs. A trigraph is 3 letters that make one sound. For example, I. So the I, the G, and the H together make the sound I in light and night. Okay, when we are teaching phonics, we always make sure that we teach the children the new vocabulary right from the very beginning in reception, so children understand what all of the different vocabulary means. Words are made up of units of sounds called phonemes, and the written sound is referred to as a grapheme. When 2 letters represent one sound, we call this a digraph. And when 3 letters represent one sound, we call this a trigraph. The children love learning all of the new vocabulary and seeing if you guys know them at home. A lot of the children find the following quite difficult, so please don't panic. Just have a little go at doing some activities over the summer in preparation for starting school. The children often find continuing a rhyming string very, very difficult. So just reading any rhyming books or just starting to become familiar with a few rhyming words will really help them with their start in September. They also find hearing and saying the initial sound in words difficult, or hearing and saying the final sounds. They often find it difficult to segment the sounds in simple words and blend them together. It's not common for them to start with to say k, a, t, dog. Okay, so please don't worry. It's just very important that they start to hear those sounds in order for them to become more confident in blending and segmenting. The children often find it difficult to know which letters represent which sounds, and linking sounds to letters, naming and sounding the letters of the alphabet. Here are a few online resources to help you. We use all of these resources in school. We use Phonics Play, Geraldine the Giraffe, and Mr. Thorne Does Phonics. I hope you have found the information about phonics helpful. In reception, the children will have daily phonics sessions every morning for about 20 minutes. Now we are going to look at reading and how reading is taught in reception. This is the Reading Early Learning Goal. So by the end of the year, children read and understand simple sentences. They use phonic knowledge to decode regular words and read them aloud accurately. They also read some common irregular words. They demonstrate understanding when talking with others about what they have read. So our reading is taught through guided reading. Guided reading is the adult acting as the expert who guides the learners through the text in a small group context. It's linked to the weekly literacy objectives. Guided reading reinforces learning across the curriculum whenever possible, and the choice of texts is essential. We always try and ensure that the texts are linked to our creative curriculum. Guided reading is fun and is tailored to meet the needs of the child and the group. Guided reading is not the teacher reading to the children, and it is not the children taking turns to read round in a circle. Guided reading takes place at least 3 times a week. We look at introducing the book, identifying the author, the illustrator, talking about the title and reading the blurb. We begin to develop some reading strategies. What do we need to remember? We look at opportunities for independent reading, taking turns or all together, returning to the text and discussion, and identifying the next steps for learning. Guided reading will take place in small groups with an adult, and the children will all have a little go at talking about the book and ensuring that they're showing an understanding of what they are reading. We have 3 guided reading sessions a week in addition to their literacy activities and other reading opportunities. The children also get 1 opportunity a week to read one-to-one with a teacher or teaching assistant in the classroom. Reading at home. It's really important to read with your child and share a range of books. Model the following to your children: to show an interest in illustrations and print in books, to hold books the correct way up and turn pages carefully, to track words as they read by pointing to each word. Maybe over the summer you could choose a range of books to share with your child, and you could talk about the pictures, point to the word as you're reading. Your child might be able to start to recognise a few of the initial sounds. Reading is a lifelong skill, and the children gain so much from reading and exploring a range of books. As a school, we are extremely passionate about reading, and we push reading every day. You will be hearing lots more about this in September. Look at writing. The early learning goal for writing is: children use their phonic knowledge to write words in ways which match their spoken sounds. They also write some irregular common words. Those are the tricky words that I talked about earlier, like the tricky word the. They write simple sentences which can be read by themselves and others. Some words are spelt correctly and others are phonetically plausible. Please don't worry too much if your child really isn't ready for writing. Not all children are ready to write. Pre-writing is very important. It is important to develop your child's fine motor and gross motor skills in order for them to write. This will enable the children to strengthen their hands in preparation for writing. In reception, each classroom has a Funky Fingers activity station where they complete lots of different activities to help develop their fine motor skills in order to help them to write. This could be activities like holding tweezers, using tweezers, playing with Play-Doh, adding little stickers onto shapes. All of those things help them to develop those fine motor skills and strengthen their hands. There are activities that you can do at home. Let's have a look. Here are some activities that you could do at home. Dojim. We use Dojim at school and it really helps to develop the children's fine motor skills. The children start to develop the strength in their hands by playing with the dough and making the dough into different shapes. Tracing is an extremely important skill for pre-writing. Learning to write is all about gaining control over the arm, hand and finger movements. Tracing can help your child practice the skills necessary for writing. Now we are going to look at handwriting. When we teach handwriting at school, we look at the handwriting family groups. These are the curly caterpillar letters, one-arm robot letters, long ladder letters and zigzag monster letters. These are shown at the bottom of your screen. It's important that if your child is having a go at forming some of these letters at home, that they are making sure that they form them correctly. Once bad habits are there, they are very difficult to break. By the end of reception, children need to be able to write clearly identifiable letters, holding the pencil correctly. Here are some examples of writing in reception. For your child to achieve the writing early learning goal at the end of reception, this is the standard of writing that we expect. At French, we deliver high-quality guided writing sessions. We pride ourselves on ensuring the children are interested and engaged in their writing through the creative curriculum. This gives the children a purpose for their writing in a fun and stimulating way. Whatever stage your child is at with their writing, we encourage them to orally rehearse what they want to write. We do this by encouraging the children to think about what they write, say it out loud, write it, and then read it. Even if your child is at the stage of just writing the initial sounds in words, we encourage them to complete this every time. We always ensure that we target the children and teach specific strategies for writing. We do remain in the group, but we also allow the children to continue to write as individually and as independently as possible. We do this by reflecting on the child's successes and thinking about their next steps. We do this by green for great and pink for think as part of our whole school marking policy. So what can you do to support your child at home? Make it fun. If your child is not ready for writing, please don't worry at this stage. Your child will not be the only one that is coming to school in September unable to write. Okay, so pre-writing is important and make sure you do lots of the pre-writing stage. Encourage your child to just have a go at writing. It doesn't matter if we go wrong because part of the process is building up the confidence. Praise their efforts and celebrate their development, whatever stage they are working at. And just talk to them. Lots and lots of talking will give your child the experience of the spoken word and how sentences sound. This will give them something to refer to when they are reading and writing independently. We hope you have found the video helpful. There will be further guidance in September.